Hello! So not too long ago, I made a list of the best black metal albums in my personal opinion, and within that list, I included Philosophem by Burzum. And it got me thinking about the Varg situation and if my opinion had changed of it at all. For those of you that are unaware, one of the biggest videos I ever made, and something that completely just took this niche by storm, was my video about Varg and why I didn't think you should support him, why I didn't condone his behavior, and the backlash on that video was insane. The comments on it, the way people approached it they were very over the top and they were very hateful, but I get it. It's the internet. You gotta have thick skin and you gotta be ready to take whatever people throw at you. And that was a very harsh video, and I intended it to be harsh at the time. And I think I have mellowed out a lot since the creation of that video in terms of how I produce my content, how I speak in my content. And I wanted to sort of talk a little bit about how my opinion has changed over time, and in many ways how it hasn't changed over time and where I stand on it now. So I'm a big advocate for separating the art from the artist. I made an entire video about that, and I think that free speech and being able to listen to things that are controversial, that might be diametrically opposed to you, should not only be allowed but encouraged to have a wide range of beliefs. And no time at all did I ever say or claim that I didn't respect Varg as an artist or the influence that he had on the community as a whole, on black metal as a whole, and I merely talked about why I don't think you should support him just as a person. And I think the reason why so many people got upset with that is many people not only see Varg as a martyr, but they see him as this beacon of counterculture within what they view as the world. And I don't blame them whatsoever for that, because it's easy to latch on the tit of something that seems to represent exactly what you are feeling. And clearly a lot of people have resonated with him, have felt inclined to believe in what he says. The reason why I don't support him as a person, and probably the biggest complaint I saw a lot of times on that video, was people saying, "What's he doing to you now? He's not doing anything." And I understand. But even when he was making videos before he got terminated off of YouTube, he still embodied a lot of the opinions he had as a kid and as a young adult. And while they aren't as extreme, and while they maybe are portrayed in a more palatable way, you can't deny the fact that those neo-pagan and pagan roots definitely took hold and made him have some opinions of certain people. And I'm not saying or making any claims that he is a bad person as a whole. I'm just saying that there is certain things that you do in this world that are going to stain you and taint you for the rest of your life. And regardless of if you did them as a child or not, or as a young adult or not, it doesn't matter, because you are growing into something where you might be able to make amends, but you should not be beyond critiquing. His involvement in the church burnings, his murder of Euronymous, his incarceration, the fact that he literally had a neo-Nazi coalition within prison, his neo-Nazi beliefs or neo-pagan beliefs on later records and later projects that he worked on even after his incarceration, the way that he spoke about those topics in his later videos. He would give an apology or he'd talk about something and then immediately backtrack and show that he hadn't really changed his behavior. You can believe whatever you want and you can make music about whatever you want. Me putting Burzum on my list proves that I can respect the influence and the sound and the musicality of a record. I gotta put a preface, because I know some people are gonna be like little keyboard warriors for what I'm about to say. Take this in the metaphorical way, because I am taking it to the extreme to try to make an example. If Adolf Hitler orchestrated the Holocaust when he was in his early 20s, and then he lived in a little hut when he was in his 50s and 60s and 70s and just chilled and didn't do anything because he got better and he didn't feel exactly like he used to. Are you gonna suddenly forgive him? Are you gonna suddenly say he's not doing anything anymore? Clearly, Varg didn't do anything to even near 1% of an extent of that. but I'm making an example that the things you do in your past stain your future, and the imprint you make on this world, in my personal opinion, does matter. My opinion on the Varg situation has changed, but my opinion on him as a person really hasn't, just how I articulate it. I'm not so invigorated to just shit down the throat of Varg, and I approach it in more of a philosophical way, because I don't think that he is necessarily a horrible person or worthy of pure hatred. He is merely someone that has some very damaging beliefs, and that's one of the reasons that I'm not a fan of Varg, is he has caused a platform for a lot of people to adopt his beliefs and fly under his flag in a way that I think a lot of people fail to understand. He himself can only do so much with his platform. It's what the people that took it and ran with it really did. And I understand that a person isn't responsible for the people that follow them, but if you have a certain rhetoric to begin with that makes those people adopt it in the first place, that can be a red flag towards what you are inciting, because why would those people extract that from what you are doing if you didn't have at least a smidgen of it in your own rhetoric, in the way you spoke, in the things that you believed in? Even if it's not the exact same thing, it still led to the same endpoint. I think you should be able to listen to whatever you want and support whatever you want, but I do think that people get up in arms because they feel like the person that they adore and love is being attacked. I don't have any issue listening to a burzum record, and I think a lot of people thought I was some triggered little soy boy that couldn't put, his hand near a burzum record without, shitting my pants and screaming and crying on the floor. I'm not some triggered snowflake. I listen to a lot of fucked up shit. I listen to fucked up shit by fucked up people. I was commenting on Varg as a person. I never said a damn thing about his music, and in fact, in that video, I talked about how his influence on black metal and what he did for the genre was not only amazing, but his contributions to the musical landscape and the black metal landscape were nothing short of spectacular and worthy of praise. People just had that fly over their heads like an airplane because all they heard was the negative stuff, and they extrapolated that and thought that that was all I was trying to say. That was the only message I was trying to portray. But hey, I guess people always fucking like a headline, don't they? What are your opinions of Varg? There is no wrong answer. Just let me know down in the comment section below. I can't wait to hear it. We can discuss it a little bit. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is. My name is Jay Morris, and I'm signing off saying farewell.